Hi, it's Emma from Story Drawing Club and welcome to the last session on how to illustrate and write your own story. Today I'll be showing you how to create a scene for your story using your characters created in other sessions. And first of all, I'm going to share with you this week's top tip. So this week's top tip is showing you how to use basic materials to be creative. So just by using a pencil you can make lots of different marks and lots of different patterns, which helps to make your drawing or the scene that you're creating really interesting and creative. So just because you don't have colour doesn't mean you can't make a really fun and vibrant scene. Using collage is another great way of adding detail and colour to your work. So asking permission first, use newspapers or old magazines to add colour and interest to your scene. So for today's session, what I recommend is that you watch through the videos first to pick up the tips on how to create your scenes. So I quite like to cut out the characters or the animals that I've drawn. You can redraw them again, or you can cut out the ones that you've created and then get a new piece of paper, and then it's just quite fun to start drawing around your animal. So for this one I'm going to go up to a bedroom, and in that bedroom there's a skateboard. So I'm going to put the ostrich on the skateboard and I'm going to add a couple of lines for movement. And then because I'm drawing a room in my own home, I'm going to start looking at the details. So I'm going to put the floor in, and in this room there is a chest of drawers. So have a look in the room that you want to draw. If it's your bedroom, what's in your bedroom? Is there a table or a chair or a bed that you want to draw? And then start drawing in other details, like is there a lamp? So in this room I'm drawing, there's a lamp on top of the chest of drawers. So I'm going to start adding that in, and look for any other little details, like is it plugged in? Can you see the plug? Obviously there's room for a bit of artistic license. For instance, there isn't really an ostrich in this bedroom on a skateboard, but the skateboard has inspired me to put that ostrich on it and have it skating through the room, and that's the havoc that it's creating in my story. And having a look around the room I can see a plant, so I'm going to draw the plant pot and some of the leaves. And then drawing in the detail, this is where I like to think about how I can bring in some of the patterns that I was talking about earlier. So how can I add interest to this room with patterns which might not really be there? So to this plant pot I'm actually going to add some zigzag patterns. And then I'm going to add some spots to my plant. So there aren't really spots on my plant, but I just think it makes it look a bit more interesting and a bit more fun. It's quite a nice way just to add that bit of interest to your drawing. I go round to the scene now and look at how I can add pattern to any other section. So in the room I'm looking at, the lamp actually is stripy, so I'm making it stripy. But the chest of drawers are plain, so I'm going to add some interest to them by adding lots of different patterns to them. And then keep adding patterns. So I think my chest of drawers look quite fun. I think the ostrich is saying wee. And then maybe there's some wallpaper, maybe that's what your wallpaper looks like, or maybe you've just added that for detail. So there's some ideas on how to create a scene using just pencil, and now I'm going to show you how I might create a scene using collage and also a bit of pencil just to create a fun scene. So I'm going to use a character and a cutout of an animal that I've drawn to create the scene. And sometimes I quite like making up a scene around the characters, and it helps inspire me to create even more kind of visuals for the story. So I'm cutting out some collage from a magazine to help add some colour to my scene. And cutting out letters as well is a really fun way to add some text. And then using inspiration from around my house, I'm looking at pots of plants, and some of them I'm making up, but some of them I'm looking at what's in front of me and cutting out those shapes, getting the magazines, or drawing out petals and plants onto plain paper and cutting those out is a really nice way to add some more interest to your pictures. So then I'm just going to keep building and building, and as I go I've decided that this room could be full of jungle. So as she stood there, a whole jungle is growing around her and the panda. So have a go at creating your own scene out of collage and see what ideas you come up with, either taking inspiration from what's in front of you or little prompts from around you, and then using your imagination to create something really wonderful. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed our series on how to create and write your own story in which you are the stars, and I really hope to see some of your magical stories one day soon.